Overflow crowd joins Mark and Digger for Moonshiners season premiere. The grease rack was busy with an overflow crowd on Wednesday night as friends, family and others jammed into the longtime Newport restaurant to see two of Cook County's most famous faces on television. Wednesday night marked the 8th season premiere of Moonshiners, which has taken off in popularity since debuting in December 2011 on Discovery. In an event hosted by the Cook County Partnership, folks came out to see Mark Ramsey and Eric Digger Maines during the 2-hour-long season premiere. The first hour of the show, which aired at 8 p.m., was a secret summit roundtable, while the second hour was the season premiere. "We're starting off with the new secret summits we did," Maines told the crowd and a Facebook Live audience shortly before 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Maines joked that the series had turned from funny to philosophical and educational, which generated tons of laughs from the packed restaurant. "We don't have any idea what the new season will entail," Ramsey told those in attendance. "You guys get to see it at the same time we do." The series has only grown in popularity since its debut in 2011, which centered around the most famous moonshiner of all, Marvin "Popcorn" Sutton. Ramsey made his debut on the show in the second season, which debuted in November 2012, and Maines has been a fixture on the show since the 4th season in November 2014. Each season of the show has grown in episodes, with the debut season having just 7 and reaching a maximum number of episodes in Season 7, which had 18 airings. Portions of the show, featuring Ramsey and Maines, were filmed in Cook County, while the duo were trying to recruit a retired moonshiner. Scenes showed were featured in downtown Newport and on Hooper Highway. Cook County's Kelly Williamson was also on the show during the season premiere. New episodes of Moonshiners are slated to air at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays on Discovery. Overflow crowd joins Mark and Digger for Moonshiners season premiere. A night of history, spirits, and tradition. The smell of copper and corn filled the air as fans lined up outside a secluded Appalachian barn, awaiting an unforgettable night. The premiere of the latest season of Moonshiners wasn't just an event on the calendar for these die-hard fans. It was an experience. As the iconic reality TV series returned to screens, the excitement was palpable, and an overflow crowd was gathered to celebrate the legends of moonshining, Mark, and Digger as they kicked off yet another season with flair, nostalgia, and a deep respect for their craft. The rise of moonshining. For many, moonshining isn't just a profession. It's a symbol of rebellion, independence, and tradition. And few people exemplify these values more than Mark and Digger, two of the show's most enduring stars. As one of the oldest American traditions, moonshining traces its roots back to the earliest days of American history. The art of distilling illegal liquor, which began as a response to government taxes and regulations, transformed into a craft and lifestyle passed down through generations. Mark and Digger have become icons within the moonshining community. Through their adventures on Moonshiners, viewers have watched the duo face challenges, triumphs, and pitfalls. They've distilled spirits from every corner of their rugged Appalachian mountain home, and each season brings with it a new chapter of their ever-growing legacy. This season, however, was different. As the crowd filed into the barn, a mix of longtime fans and curious newcomers, there was a sense of anticipation that felt almost electric. The premiere was more than just the debut of new episodes. It was a reunion, a celebration of both the history of moonshining and the community that has grown around the craft. The barn comes to life. The barn, nestled in a valley surrounded by thick trees and winding roads, was the perfect setting for this gathering. Inside, rustic wooden beams crisscrossed the ceiling, and old barrels and casks lined the walls. A roaring fire crackled in the corner, adding warmth and a touch of authenticity to the otherwise cool night air. It was clear that this was no ordinary premiere. It was an immersive celebration of the moonshining way of life. As the doors opened, the crowd spilled in, voices buzzing with excitement. The atmosphere was more like a family reunion than a TV event, as Mark and Digger welcomed their fans with the same warmth and hospitality they show on television. Fans came from all over the country, some making long drives to be a part of the night's festivities. They were all here for the same reason: to see their heroes up close, to learn a little more about the craft they've come to love, and of course, to share in the celebration of a new season of Moonshiners. The evening kicked off with an intimate chat between Mark, Digger, and the audience. Mark, dressed in his trademark work shirt with a bottle of his latest batch in hand, while Digger, equally casual in a flannel shirt and cowboy hat, leaned on the barrel next to him. The crowd hung on every word as the duo shared stories from the early days of their moonshining journey, giving fans a rare glimpse into their world before the cameras started rolling. There's no real secret to good moonshine, Mark began with a chuckle. It's all about quality ingredients and patience. That, and knowing how to handle the still when things start to get tricky. The crowd laughed along, nodding in agreement. For many of them, Mark and Digger's approach to moonshining had become synonymous with authenticity. The moonshiner's craft, a family tradition for Mark and Digger, moonshining is more than just a profession. It's a deep-rooted family tradition. Mark's family, he revealed, had been distilling spirits for generations, passing down the knowledge and techniques from father to son, from uncle to nephew, like an unspoken language. Digger, too, spoke of his family's history in the craft, with stories of his grandfather's stills and the trials and tribulations of getting through prohibition and other obstacles the industry had faced over the years. When you're born into this life, it becomes part of your soul, Digger explained. It's not just about making whiskey. It's about making something that honors the people who came before you. It's about making something that tells a story, that has a soul of its own. The crowd fell silent, as the weight of Digger's words sank in. For many, it wasn't just the quality of the moonshine that made it special. It was the history behind it. Each bottle Mark and Digger produced held the legacy of generations before them, a piece of the Appalachian culture that had survived the tests of time. The premiere. Behind the scenes, the night continued. The crowd was treated to a special screening of the premiere episode of Moonshiners Season 14. This season promised to be one of the most action-packed yet, with new challenges, unexpected obstacles, and of course, plenty of the moonshine-making drama that fans had come to love. Behind the scenes, Mark and Digger gave fans an insider's look at what it takes to produce the show. They spoke candidly about the difficulties of filming in such a remote location, the challenges of working with a team, and the risks involved in producing illegal liquor in today's world of strict laws and regulations. It's not just about making moonshine on TV, Mark said. It's about making sure we stay true to the spirit of what this craft is all about. We're not just out here to make some TV show for the cameras. We're here to share a piece of history, to keep this tradition alive. As the episode aired on a large screen, the audience was transported into the rugged mountainside alongside Mark and Digger. From the first grain of corn to the final drop of finished product, the episode captured the painstaking process of moonshining, as well as the dangers that come with it. Fans cheered as Mark and Digger's hard work paid off, and gasped as obstacles arose, both from law enforcement and from nature itself. But as always, Mark and Digger persevered, proving once again that their passion and skill were unmatched. The community's impact tone of the most touching moments of the evening came when fans were invited to share their own stories. In a circle that seemed to stretch around the entire barn, attendees took turns telling their favorite Moonshiners moments or sharing their personal connections to the craft. For some, moonshining was a family tradition passed down for generations, just like Mark and Digger's. For others, it was a symbol of rebellion, a way of breaking free from societal expectations. One fan, a woman named Carol, recalled how her grandfather used to run a still during Prohibition. She shared stories of how she'd helped her grandfather with his secret operation as a young girl, learning the art of distilling while also bonding with her family in ways few people ever experienced. The audience was captivated by Carol's story, and Mark and Digger both nodded in recognition, knowing full well how moonshining has always been more than just about making liquor. It's about keeping family ties strong, even under the most difficult circumstances. The future of moonshining. As the night came to a close, Mark and Digger stood together, reflecting on the significance of the evening. The crowd had dispersed, but the legacy of the night would live on. The premiere had done more than just mark the start of a new season. It had reaffirmed the importance of moonshining in American culture and the sense of community it fosters. Looking ahead, Mark and Digger made it clear that while the world of moonshining had changed over the years, its essence would always remain the same. "We're not just doing this for ourselves," Mark said. "We're doing this for all the people who came before us, and for the generations moonshining."